Kyler Phillips, Matrix. Appreciate the time, man. Good to get you on the show. Let's get right into it. Contender Series, The Ultimate Fighter. Now you actually make... Do you feel like this is your official debut in the UFC, even though you fought on The Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, man. I actually felt like it was all just a building up process for me, especially when I was a little younger. Not having as much experience in life, and hard things happening as it did as right now. And I felt like the Contender and the Ultimate Fighter are actually like an internship, basically, where I got to go in there and work on the job and then come back. And basically now it's just like I graduated and I'm ready to go out into the big show.
Yeah, it's pretty wild that you're making your debut, and Brad Katona, who actually won the Ultimate Fighter, he just recently got cut. When you heard the news, what was your reaction to all of that?
Well, I seen the last dude he fought. He fought one of my old teammates, Hunter Azure, and I sparred him a lot and stuff. So I know that Brad, it's you got to be really on point. You got to win everything, and especially too, his style it was good for the smaller cage in the wrestling, but with the bigger cage, and I just felt like his game didn't evolve over the next couple of years, and I feel like guys like me and some other guys that have learned from that process, we've grown and gotten a lot better, and just adapting constantly and just continuing to grow as a martial artist and as a fighter. And it'll eat you up. You can be good, but you got to continue to adapt. And I feel like that's something that a lot of us are good at.
In the current state of the UFC right now, do you feel like it is tougher to stay in the UFC compared to, let's say, 5 years ago?
Yeah, man. I always hear even Ben Henderson. He's at our gym. He always says that out loud. He says it's not about getting in the UFC. It's about staying in. It's about being the champ. It's about going through and not just getting signed. You can get a lot of people can, rack up a couple fights, get some good wins, and then get signed. But it's about staying in, and that's what I feel like this whole past process has helped me to be ready and helped me to be mentally ready as well as physically. And I'm ready to go out, and I know who I am, and honestly, I can just say that I'm ready to go.
March 2019, Philadelphia. You were supposed to fight Ray Borg on short notice. Yeah. What exactly happened? Because I can't find anything about it.
Yeah, some things different happened, and I couldn't fight for, it's been like almost a year. It's been a year, basically. So, yeah, man, I just couldn't fight, fortunately, and, I had to wait for a really long time, and kind of sucked, the waiting process. And I was just not questioning all the time, but every once in a while just questioning, like, am I really going to do this? Am I going to stay in this? This is what I've wanted to do for so long, and then you got a year layoff, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? Especially if you can't pay bills and stuff, so you got to find different ways to make money. And so playing that victim card, just keep going training, keep getting better. And in this past year, I've grown a lot, and I've learned a lot, and that hunger inside, I feel like I can feel it. You know what I mean? It's a little bit different than a year ago where I'm a Contender, or in the Ultimate Fighter, where now I know exactly, who I am and why I'm doing this, and I love this. This is what I love to do, and it's nothing I'd rather be doing.
What was that battle like for the last year? You sitting on the sidelines waiting for a fight and kind of having those whispers, because everybody has whispers in their mind of doubt, and battling that. How was that?
Basically just, sticking true to knowing your identity, honestly, is like, you see a lot of people coming up, especially I've seen a lot of my teammates, people that I know from other gyms that are going in the UFC and they're getting big wins, and you're just sitting back, and it's like you're supposed to be a big thing, and sometimes, yeah, you can have those thoughts of like comparison or envy this or that, and it's okay to have those type of thoughts. Like, if it's coming in your mind, instead of trying to just block it out, just remember, the truth, who you are, and remember to love yourself. And there was actually towards the end when I didn't have a fight yet, and I was like sitting there, man, like what am I gonna do? I was like, what am I gonna do to make some money? I'm gonna feed, my family and stuff. And it's like, okay. And I got the call that I got to fight, and I just got on my knees and I was thanking God. And I went to the park, man. I started shadow boxing and looked at the sky, and I'm really happy that happened.
Definitely. Now, what have you added anything throughout the past year to your regimen?
Oh man, that's why it's like this. Them giving me a year off has been time for the Matrix to just literally put some stuff in this arsenal. Like, I'm gonna bring my toolbox, and it's got all types of sharp tools. Every tool is sharp, and I got a bunch of things in there. It's that's me. I can change on the dime, and I feel confidently that anything that goes wrong in the fight, I can adapt very quickly. Either way, if I'm on top or on bottom, and I just have I have a very balanced tool set, and mentally and as well as physically and athletically. So this past year, man, it's just been like literally I've been perfecting and just sharpening all the iron. Even the guys just helping them out, them helping me out. Just keep training, keep pushing forward, and keep having fun. And I've been really just honored to do what I do as a real martial artist.
You added tools, you balanced your tool belt, your tool set, but what have you improved the most in your skill set?
Definitely my heart and mind. I'd say this whole process, my heart and mind coming as one, but at the same time, physically just becoming more hungry and being more technically sound. My timing's been getting better, my speed, my accuracy, my power, my technique, my form. I spend an hour every single day shadow boxing, except for Sunday. But yeah, that's, I spend the time, I put the time in, and it's no luck thing for me. It's 4-ounce gloves, of course, but it's very calculated, and I've been putting a lot of time, a lot of repetitions, and staying true, having fun, being loose, having fun, but also staying tight and very technical and being very strategic to what I'm doing. Any type of fight.
Do you feel that you've grown into your body in the last couple of years more and like put on more strength, power, size, all of that?
I maybe not as far as physically, maybe like my shoulders and back, working a lot, but just mentally, like being aware of what I can do and how far I can push in 5-minute rounds, knowing how the level that I can elevate, and also the level that I can take a breath and know my body. So I feel like I'm able to know myself a little bit more, and to trust my abilities, and to go into the deep waters and know exactly where I can push to, which is getting elevated every single every month.
Where have you been splitting your time for this training camp?
I've been at the MMA lab. That's with John Crouch, Ben Henderson. You saw Mario Bautista. He just got a flying knee knockout last week.
Yeah.
Casey Kenny, Sugar Sean O'Malley. Marcus McKee. There's a bunch of dudes, man. We got a lot of guys, but the 35 division is pretty stacked over there. Yeah, man, we're just in the shop working every day, and then I got Grandmaster Hunchy Nico. He's just guy's a genius at what he does, and he doesn't like to take credit. He's really humble, but that guy really understands energy. He understands how to be very specific. He's kept me on track for the past year, as well as John Crouch, and those guys are continuing to guide me every day. And Al Escobar from Eris Physical Therapy, he's been helping me out a lot every time I get little injuries here and there. That guy's got so much information, and yeah, man, it's just good to have good people around you that not only care but have great knowledge, and to just keep listening, taking a step forward ahead, and sometimes taking a step back, taking a breath, and realizing, okay, this is what I got to do, then coming forward. I feel like sometimes in the past I would just, basically close my eyes in the journey and just walking, going step, another step. And it's like, okay, take that patience this whole time off. It's like learning about patience, taking a breath, like, okay, looking back and realizing what different paths you can take, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're going to get off the path, but it's like finding that way to get back and knowing exactly that your goals, and not just everybody, sees them getting their hand raised and visualize the win. They visualize, yeah, Kyle Matrix, whatever name, but they don't visualize, not just visualize, but take those little steps every day that it takes, those little tiny things, the little details that count, you know what I mean? So just the little extra 5 minutes of stretching every day, the little extra, getting your mindset right, or the visualization, those little tiny things that's going to help you become a champion, they add up over and over and over and over and over and over again. And it just becomes habit. And I feel like this has been a lot of time for me to grow and mature mentally, as just a human being.
Gabriel Silva, preparing for him, are you just letting your coaches worry about that and you're just doing your thing through this camp? Or do you go and watch him and check him out and see what he can do?
Yeah, I've seen his last fight. I've seen a couple of his fights. I watch him. I watch his footwork. I watch his body composure, the way he comes in, the way he comes out, his upper body, how he, leans in, where his guard is at. So I'm really aware of what he's doing. And I know he likes to wrestle too. He's got a good skill set. He's got good jiu-jitsu, good grappling. He likes to come forward. He throws a hard right hand. So I'm ready, but I see myself finishing him. But I can also see it going 3 rounds. I'm ready for anything. And he's a tough kid. But I watch, with my coaches. We've watched some stuff, and we've been specific with some things. But you don't want to spend too much time getting too entitled to one thing, you know what I mean? So I'm ready for him to try to wrestle, to try to stand with me, to try to do any type of game. And I'm going to be constantly a step ahead, constantly playing that game of chess. And he's going to start bending and cracking, and I'm going to start whipping at it over and over again, finding different openings and going in and finishing it.
All right, one last thing before I let you go. You're 24 years old. You're a young guy still, but you still, you've had some time, in the pros. Success in combat sports. You're a thinker. Is it legacy? Is it belts? Is it money? What are you trying to accomplish?
Before too, man, it was like I was doing everything for myself, and I feel like now it's more important than just me. It's not just a legacy, you know what I mean? It's the people, the relationships. Things are gonna happen, like some people, the best guys might get an injury and be out for the rest of there's things that can happen that you can't control. But it's about the people that you impact and the people that you encounter and doing it for others, and really going out there and making a legacy for yourself, but making those connections that make a person who he is, and I feel like, especially people with a family and stuff, you got to look out and take care. And it's more about you do what you love. You know what I mean? The love is over the fear, and it's like you see a guy, his love for his child. Say there's a child burning, or a firefighter is burning. There's a child in the building. His love for that child is way more. It's more powerful than the fear he has of getting burnt. So it's like, just keep going in, you know what I mean? Follow your heart and trust your actions, but also take a step and look at what's going on, man. And it's amazing.
All right, man. February 29th, UFC on ESPN Plus 27, Norfolk, Virginia, USA. Kyler, really appreciate the time. Good luck on the fight, man. And I really am anticipating your debut because I know what you can do. And you, like you said earlier, Contender Series, The Ultimate Fighter was just all college, and now you're heading into your career like full blast. Man. It's gonna be exciting.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go probably get some Korean barbecue to this fight. You like Korean barbecue, kimchi? Nice.
Of course, man.
Sweet.
Of course.
Awesome. All right, man. Thank you. Have a good night.